G'day legends, I wanted to make a quick video and show you how to make a GAPS shake.
GAPS shake.
A GAPS shake is the juice / shake that we have regularly on the GAPS diet. It helps with detoxifying the gallbladder and the liver, and it helps with the detoxification process through the GAPS diet. This is introduced in stage 2, and basically what you're doing is you're having cold pressed juice, starting with things like carrot juice, and then slowly increasing and adding things like apple, beetroot if you can tolerate, and then you add an egg yolk into it and some fermented sour cream or coconut oil, depending on whether you can tolerate sour cream or not. And you have that basically daily, and it just helps flush your body out, and it's really good and nourishing. And the egg yolks are just so incredibly detoxifying and good for the body, good for your adrenals as well. So this is a powerful concoction that if you can tolerate, I recommend drinking. I'm really happy that I can start eating and drinking this because juicing was such a huge part of my health journey in early days, and I really like the feeling of it. We won't be using anything that does have oxalates or salicylates or anything like that because my gut is still very sensitive. Typically, I don't like to use a lot of apple or fruit. I like to keep as low carb as possible just because I feel like my body works quite well in that way. This is a recipe from this book, GAPS Stage by Stage by Becky Plotner, Resto Sol. Now I'm going to try and get this done as quickly as possible before my son gets back from school. Now for all the healing benefits, you want to make sure that it is a cold pressed juice. Normal centrifugal juices don't give you the same benefits as a cold pressed juice. There's much more nutrients in it. Let's do it. Once you have juiced all those ingredients, we're going to put it in the blender now. Putting it in the blender allows us to add the raw egg yolk, and if you have it on deck or you're able to tolerate it, sour cream that's fermented. I don't have any of that on hand, so I'm just going to use a tablespoon of coconut oil, which is a recommended alternative. You can use yogurt as well, but sour cream is the best fermented dairy to put in. So I'll chuck a tablespoon of this in, maybe a tiny bit more. For some people, the coconut oil might be a bit too detoxifying or they might react to it. If that's the case, just omit it. As anything with the GAPS diet, you want to slowly introduce and test different things as you can tolerate. We're going to add the yolk of an egg. You can use 1 or 2 yolks. Always make sure it is organic. It's organic and I know it. Free range, pasture fed. Next, we're going to pour the juice into the blender. Now, I like to use a sieve because this juicer doesn't get all of the pulp out. It can still be quite pulpy. And with juice, the less pulp that is in the juice, the better. It means you can absorb it and assimilate and digest it a lot easier than if there is fiber. This fiber doesn't go to waste though. I chuck it in my worm farm and they absolutely love it, especially since it is so finely pulpinated. All right, I'm at my little worm farm and I'll just sprinkle this on my little wormy farm. See the little guys here? Wormies, and then eventually this turns into worm juice. Now we've got our beautiful concoction here and we're going to blend it up. Once everything's blended, the only appropriate way to consume this is in a mason jar with a metal straw. This is actually twice as much as I would normally drink, but we're going to do it anyway. Cheers to your health. Oh, it's so nice with that coconut oil and the egg. It almost feels like it's like a pastry or something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had anything like that, obviously, but that taste combination and profile is just incredible. Now, when I started doing these GAPS shake, I slowly worked my way up. I would only be able to have like a teaspoon of carrot juice and I would need to go to the toilet. It would bring on peristalsis. And then slowly I was able to work myself up to the point where I can have something like this. My skin doesn't break out, I don't get joint pain. It's fantastic and I don't have the runs. So we'll see how my body does after this. But that is how I do my GAPS shake. And obviously you want to work your way up to get to this point. It's even better with the sour cream, fermented sour cream or fermented yogurt. You can have this daily, you can have it twice a day. Goes really well when you're doing it with your coffee enemas and all the other parts of the GAPS protocol. You can use any combination of fruits and veggies that you can tolerate. I recommend following these books for a bit more advice on that. This is best consumed on an empty stomach and within 30 minutes of making because the longer it sits around, it starts to oxidize, so you don't want to lose all the benefits of doing a freshly juiced thing. If you want to see more GAPS, carnivore, keto related recipes, please subscribe, and you might actually enjoy this video right over here. Or even this one over there. I don't know, choose your pick. Maybe watch both of them. When you hold me